Hi, thanks for joining us. This week we want to talk about our new dinghy. We've got a brand new dinghy and we're very excited to show it off to you. But before we do that, we'd like to take you back in time just a little bit.
We're talking about some history, what happened, how we got here, and a little bit about the whole process because it was interesting.
This boat came with a dinghy that was in pretty poor condition. We were really hoping to get another year or two out of it.
Yeah, and in fairness, the engine was very reliable. It just had a lot of hours on it, and there was no hour meter, so there was no way to really tell how many hours were on it. The whole package was 10 years old, which doesn't seem like a long time, but in the life of a dinghy, 10 years in the tropics, being used in the saltwater environment with no maintenance records, it was hard for us because we depend on it. It's our car. If our big boat is our house, the dinghy's our car. It's how we get groceries, it's how we get ashore, it's how we go explore, all those things. And so not knowing really left a hole for us and made us feel pretty uncomfortable.
And of course, as boat life often will, despite the fact that we were hoping to hang on to it for a year or two, the dinghy had other plans for us.
We were already planning to take the dinghy over to Hugo, the dinghy doctor, and have some work done. It's one of those things that made it to the top of the priority list and nothing flat. Can you see the deflated tube? The dinghy is going over to Hugo, the dinghy doctor, today, and he should have it for a week. And we are sincerely looking forward to how beautiful it is when it returns to us.
We took our dinghy to Hugo to get the big hole patched and then also patch any other little holes. Well, 27 new patches later,
Right.
We had our dinghy back and holding air really well like a champ, but clearly this thing was end of life.
No, it was definitely about at the end of its road.
Yeah.
At that point, we knew that it was not going to last us for the year or two that we were hoping, and it was time to start searching.
Like everything we do, we start with what's our mission profile? What are the criteria that we need to fulfill for the new dinghy? And there are some things we knew already that we wanted. We wanted it to be pretty lightweight, relatively lightweight. And I gotta say that because, there's some lightweight dinghies that one person can just pick up and carry around. We weren't gonna get that. We were never gonna get that. We need more space. We want something that was capable in bigger water. A lot of our friends have pretty small dinghies, 10 feet, 8 feet, with a little outboard that has a tiller, and they're super happy with that and it's great for them. It doesn't really work for us because we are going to take our dinghy out into bigger water, and we want a dinghy that can manage that. We also wanted heavy duty. I know myself, I'm not easy on equipment. I try to be gentle-ish, but I also know I'm going to use it. I'm going to make my first priority getting what I need done and having the experience that I want to have. And if that means I sacrifice equipment a little bit, that's the cost of doing business for me. Knowing that, we went a little heavier duty. I wanted a heavier grade of material for the tubes. I wanted good solid aluminum. I wanted great construction. I also wanted a built-in fuel tank. Anybody who has a dinghy with a plastic gas tank in it knows that you're always dealing with hoses that are trying to leak or kink or fittings that get rusted. It's not something I wanted to deal with.
They also never seem to sit right in their compartment. They're tipping over, and
they're
inconvenient.
There's no gauge in them that works that'll tell you how much fuel's really in it because they slosh around. Everything's a compromise. That's a compromise I just didn't want to make. We also wanted some storage in the boat.
And if you watched our last episode, you will know that we haul a lot of stuff.
Right?
When we provisioned, we filled old dinghy to its brim. There was no more space. We fill it up. We put stuff in it.
We load it. My knees are kind of crappy. And so sitting with my legs bent up tight all the time means it's really hard to go for any duration in the boat if my knees are all bent up. So I wanted something that had a steering wheel because we don't really like tillers.
I can't do tillers because, he's got crappy knees, I've got a crappy back.
Yep.
So sitting sideways and operating a tiller is really rough on my back.
Yeah, we gotta have a steering wheel, but I also want to be able to stretch my legs out so it can't have a big console that makes it so I can't, extend my legs. There were a bunch of different things that we wanted, and none of these are impossible. They're all available. It's just now a matter of finding out which manufacturer has the dinghy we want with all the features we want, or is willing to give us some stuff that's off the menu. In the cruising community, a lot of our friends have Highfield dinghies. And Highfield makes a great boat. Aluminum hull, Hypalon tubes, really high quality construction. and they've got a great reputation. They look nice, and they have a lot of the features that we wanted. And so we started looking at Highfield and tried to get a conversation going. We have a friend who has a pretty custom Highfield dinghy, and we really liked the possibility of getting exactly what we wanted, and we really hoped to work something out. As it turns out, Highfield wasn't really able to work with us to let's buy a build slot and build exactly what we wanted.
They really were completely uninterested in doing anything that was off menu. And I'm not talking about something, brand new and different, but rather a feature that's offered on one model of boat and we would like to put it on a different model of boat kind of thing.
And in fairness to Highfield, they have a business to run. They make a great product. I get it. And I have nothing bad to say about Highfield. I have a tremendous amount of respect for their business and their boats. They do a good job. It just didn't work out for us.
So we had to come up with another option.
As it turns out, one of our friends in Guatemala had recently imported a boat from China. He got exactly what he wanted. He hooked us up with the contact information for the factory. If you looked at his boat and looked at a Highfield,
you'd swear it was the same boat.
The only difference is the brand. There's no Highfield branding on his boat. And I think that's about the only difference you could find. You do the math. So at this point, we reach out to Laya Qingdao Lianya Boat Company in Qingdao, China. And I'm telling you, this is an experience I've never had in the US. A lot of times people think, wow, Chinese made, what are you getting? You're buying cheap Chinese crap. Here's what the deal is. Chinese factories are capable of producing any level of quality you want to buy. You have to decide what level of quality you want to buy. You have to be very specific, and you have to work with a factory that's set up to deliver that quality. You can buy cheap Chinese crap, or you could buy an iPhone. We felt really good about contacting these guys and working through the process. And the next morning, they're 14 hours away time zone wise. The next morning I've got a reply. Hi, Mr. Hammer. Thanks for reaching out. We would love to sell you a boat. Here is our brochure with all the different boats we sell. Here's a link to our website. Here's some other technical information about the different boats we sell. Holy crap, they were just on it.
Oh, it was immediate. We've never had that kind of communication with a company in the past.
As soon as I asked about something that wasn't on the menu, the immediate response was, yes, we can do that. It'll cost $26 additional.
So we decided to push that a little bit.
And seriously, I got carried away. I was asking for everything I wanted. And so I said, you've got a box channel transom on this boat. Could I have it on the boat that we're ordering? Yes, that'll be $172. Okay.
We literally asked for everything. We wanted the heavy-duty Hypalon.
No problem, another $86. We wanted...
the biggest built-in gas tank that would fit in the boat.
Anything I asked for, the answer was yes. I can't tell you what a great experience it was. Now, to be fair, the process took a long time. We had probably 30 or 40 emails back and forth. That alone, it took about a month to just settle on what we were going to order.
And the truth is, if in an email we had specified 5 things instead of 1 thing, this process could have gone faster. But we were kind of pushing it with every email. We're like, oh, they said yes to this. Let's try this one.
Well, ultimately, it took about 5 months to get the boat. I would order and buy another dinghy from China in a heartbeat. We've had the boat for a couple months now, and it's fabulous. It is comfortable. It rides great. It's fairly dry. I don't have any complaints. Ultimately, though, we got a kick-ass boat for a really, really good price. And we'll break all that down on our website. We're going to have the full process posted on our website, so you can go check that out. Link is down below. Also, we're not sponsored by these guys.
No.
They did not give us a price break. They gave us their rack price, which was ridiculously good.
So we purchased our new boat. Getting it put together is going to be a little bit difficult. It's coming in a crate from China, which means that it's not inflated, and its bits and bobs like the seat and the helm and the arch are not put together. We found a solution. We went to the Miami Boat Show.
Now, I'm going to pause for just a second. We weren't planning to buy an outboard. We were thinking we would use our old outboard and put it on and use it for the next year, and then before we take off big time and go for a long ways, we would get a new outboard. Well, we got there, we went to the Honda booth, and they were on it. Hooked us up with a local shop that has a great reputation, has been around since the 80s, and they know what they're doing.
And in the process, we did buy a new outboard from them. And we also managed to negotiate a little help.
We don't have a truck or a car or anything. This crate is being delivered to a warehouse in Florida, and then they call us and say, hey, come get your crate. Well, I can't put it on my bicycle. That isn't going to work. Working with the shop, they were willing to come pick it up for a fee, and it was a very reasonable fee, and bring the crate back to their shop. They did a great job commissioning the dinghy for a very reasonable price, especially considering all the extra that went into doing it.
It really was far more than they would normally have had to do. This was a pretty unusual ask.
Yeah.
And they were happy to do it, and we were very grateful for the assist.
Okay, we're heading to the ramp.
Oh my god, this is so exciting. There it is. Looks like a nice dinghy, doesn't it?
The coordination for two drivers to do this is something. If one goes too fast, it slides off. If they go too slow, they bounce into each other. He's got it.
Wow.
There it is. Oh, we got it.
What do you see?
Oh, I can see it.
Can you?
Kinda. I see a little bit of shiny.
You excited?
No, not at all.
Liar.
Yeah, losing my mind. Okay, this has been a long time coming.
Oh my god. This is
And
taking forever.
We've got the dinghy on the trailer, and tomorrow we're gonna meet him at the shop, and then do the uncrate.
And we get to put it together.
Then they get to assemble it. And
This is pretty exciting.
Oh my god.
All right, until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
They are getting ready to get the crate off of the trailer, and then we're gonna break it open. We finally get to see this baby. Cannot wait. I never would have thought that this is how you get a big box off the trailer. Just drag it right off. This doesn't worry you at all, does it, Sean?
No, not a bit.
It freaks me out just a little bit. There we go. Oh. Ah, perfect. Oh, that was brilliant.
Time to open the crate.
So
Here's my thought.
So pound it in a little bit first. Now, grab the long handle and pull toward you.
That's it.
There it is.
Open.
Ready? Little peek. Oh, there's the goods. God, that's exciting.
Just tip it up and let it slide down. Yep, so here's our arch,
There's Bimini.
and there's something.
Steering cable.
Steering cable,
There's the Bimini.
bimini,
Ooh, so filthy.
and very nicely packed and padded. What was it you were saying?
Yes, yes! That's what I was saying. Oh my gosh, I love
All right.
this. Little step. This cleat makes me super happy, and I don't even know why. It's such a tiny little thing. Oh my gosh.
It's great. They did a great job putting this boat together. Every part of it, so much protection and packaging. They did exactly what I asked.
You ready to say goodbye to this dinghy?
I kind of already said goodbye to this dinghy.
You ready to be done driving this dinghy?
I'm ready to be done driving this dinghy. I'm ready to be done driving, standing up all the time.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to a seat.
I am really excited. This has been a long time coming.
Wow, this is so exciting.
This is unbelievably exciting. Look at that. Am I good?
Here we go. Woohoo, she's in the water. Ah! Oh my God, that's exciting.
Okay.
Thanks so much,
We'll
Pat.
see you.
Appreciate everything.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
So you've seen the dinghy get put together. You saw us launch it at the launch there in Fort Lauderdale. And now we're going to fast forward a bit. It's a great opportunity to catch you up on what's happened with this boat. We got a new tender, but it's not quite the same as buying a new car. You get the boat, you have it commissioned, so that's your dealer prep. And then you have to decide what you want to do with this boat and what it's going to need to do all the things you want to do.
Well, we plan to do pretty much everything in this boat, from land excursions to scuba diving to fishing. So there's some things that we wanted to add on, and that includes a bimini for some sun protection, a chart plotter so we know where we are, an arch, which will hold our nav lights, and a camera mount, of course. Everybody needs some oh shit handles as well, and an anchor and sand screw are unbelievably useful.
Thanks for joining us. I know this episode was a lot of talking, a lot of information, and not as much adventure. We appreciate you being here just the same. We will have some links down below, again, for the boat manufacturer in China, as well as the folks, the outboard company in Florida who helped us out. And if you would like to get in touch with us, leave a comment. We're happy to engage and talk about the process. Happy to share with you some of the gotchas that we found along the way. If you decide to go down this path, maybe help you avoid some of the things that we could have done better and ended up with a faster result.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that as well. We're going to the Bahamas next. And if you think you have any friends who might be interested in what we're doing, tell them about us as well. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.